Good day guys, welcome back to another video in the series of IGCSE Math Syllabus. Now in the previous video, I was talking to you guys about positive indices, right guys? Now in this video, I'll be teaching you guys about negative indices. Let's get to it guys. Alright guys, so what do we mean by negative indices? Let's say for example we have a raised to the power of -1. So a raised to the power of -1 is same like 1 over a to the power of 1. Alright guys, now let's say I have for example 4 raised to the power of -2. Alright guys, so 4 raised to the power of -2 is same like 1 over 4 to the power of 2, which will give us 1 over 16. Alright guys, now let's go ahead and use this understanding and solve few questions. Now first of all guys, when we have something like this, so let's see if we can use law number 1 to solve it. So what do we have here? Law number 1 states that we would add the exponent if the bases are the same. So what we have here, we have a to the power of -3 plus 5, right, over a to the power of 0, right guys? In the denominator, we will be using law number 3, right guys? Therefore, a to the power of -3 plus 5 will give us a to the power of 2 over, and anything raised to the power of 0 will give us 1, right guys? So we have a square over 1, which is equal to a square. Alright guys, now let's go ahead and solve the next question. Again guys, I would highly suggest you to click on that pause button, try and solve this by yourself and come back and check my solution if you got the correct answer. Alright guys, now in question number 2, what do we have? So we will be using the law of negative indices, right guys? So we have r to the power of 3 raised to the power of -2. Now in this first we'll be using law number 3. So we will have r raised to the power of -6. Right guys, because 3 multiplied by -2 will give us -6, and in the denominator we will have p to the power of -2 times 3 will also give us -6, right guys? Does that make sense? All right, now what we have here is when we have an exponential value that is same, such that let's say I have a to the power of m over b to the power of m, we can write this as a over b to the power of m. Does that make sense guys? We can write it as a over b to the power of m. Now similarly here we can write it as r over p to the power of -6, right guys? Now in the previous we didn't solve negative indices when it was a fraction. All right guys, so if we have a over b raised to the power of, let's say, -2, this is same like b over a raised to the power of 2. So what we do is we just swap the numerator with the denominator, and the negative exponent will change to a positive exponent. All right guys, so in this one similarly, r over p raised to the power of -6 is same like p over r raised to the power of 6. All right guys, and now if we break the bracket, we will have p to the power of 6 over r to the power of 6. All right guys, now let's go to question number 3. Now first of all, we will be solving the term inside the bracket and using law number 2. All right guys, so we would have t to the power of 3 minus with -5, and this raised to the power of 2, right guys? Now here is where many students make mistake. So they just take this minus and then just put it as a single minus. All right guys, now when we use law number 2, it states that a to the power of b divided by, let's say, c to the power of d is same like a to the power of d minus d, right guys? So in this case we have a negative here also. Now negative times negative will give us positive, right guys? So we'll have t to the power of 3 plus 5 raised to the power of 2. All right, so 3 plus 5 will give us t to the power of 8 raised to the power of 2, right guys? Now we'll be using law number 3, right guys? So we'd have t to the power of 8 times 2, which is t to the power of 16. Now let's go ahead to the final question, guys. All right, I highly suggest you click on pause and try and solve it by yourself first. All right, guys. So what we have here, we would have m to the power of 0 minus with minus 6 over m to the power of negative 3, right guys? So in the numerator we use law number 2 and in the denominator we use law number 3, right guys? So we would have m to the power of 0 plus 6 over m to the power of negative 3, right guys? So m to the power of 0 plus 6 will give us m to the power of 6 over m to the power of negative 3. Now if we take a look at this, guys, we have a situation where we can use law number 2 again, right guys? So we would have m to the power of 6 minus with minus 3, right guys? So we would have m to the power of 6 plus 3 and the final answer will be m to the power of 9. All right, guys. And that is how we would solve questions involving negative indices. All right, guys. Now, if you did enjoy this video, do not forget to hit on that like button and consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any future maths videos. Now, until next time, guys, have a nice day.